Good afternoon. And welcome to our 2023 State of the City. My name is Dan Chapman, and I'm the Chief Administrator for the City of Kitchener. I want to thank you for joining us today at the Kitchener Market, which is a well-loved community hub and a farmers market that attracts residents from across the region. With over 150 years of history, the market is brought to life by the many independent local vendors that call it home, and to the tens of thousands of residents and visitors who will shop here annually. Today, Mayor Vrbanovic is going to share the community's vision of the future with you. This is more than a strategic plan, more than a document that will gather dust on a shelf. In fact, the copy that you received today when you arrived is an ambitious and hopeful outlook on the future. But before that, we're very fortunate to have some special guests with us. The Spirit Nation Singers are a talented group of local Indigenous youth performers. And the performance from these young people is a small way today for us to honor the land on which we gather and the Indigenous people who have been living on and caring for this land for thousands of years. As a community, we recognize our shared responsibility to serve as stewards for the land and honor the original caretakers who came before us. In this Treaties Recognition Week, we also honor the importance of treaties and the significance of treaty rights and relationships today. Our community is enriched by the enduring knowledge and deep-rooted traditions of the diverse First Nations, Métis, and Inuit in Kitchener today. We also acknowledge that this land is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Neutral people. We acknowledge the enduring presence of the Indigenous people with whom we share this land today, their achievements, and their contributions to the community. We're pleased to welcome today Scott, Keewaydin, Isaac, Nimki, Tyler, Nashkua, Colton, Nick, Olivia, Ariana, and Hayden. Please join me in welcoming the Spirit Nation Singers. Thank you to the Spirit Nation Singers for being here with us today. We're really proud to be able to share the Downtown Community Center with you for your rehearsals. They have another performance that they need to leave to, so we'll give you a moment to head out now. But as they do, everyone, please give them another round of applause as they make their way out this evening. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge some special guests who are with us today. Please hold your applause until all have been identified or introduced. I'll start by welcoming Member of Parliament Mike Morris, who tonight is represented by Don Gill. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to our own City of Kitchener councillors, Scott Davey, Dave Schneider, Jason Deneau, Christine Michaud, Io Owaduni, Paul Singh, Bill Ionitis, Margaret Johnston, as well as Debbie Chapman and Ashlyn Clancy. From the City of Cambridge, we're pleased to welcome Mayor Jan Liggett and Councillor Corey Kimpson. From the City of Waterloo, Councillor Diane Freeman and Councillor Sandra Hamner. From the Township of Wellesley, Mayor Joe Nowak. From the Township of Wilmot, Mayor Natasha Salonen. From the Township of Woolwich, Mayor Sandy Shantz. From Regional Council, Regional Chair Karen Redman, Councillor Colleen James, Councillor Jim Erb, and Councillor Pam Wolf. From our Waterloo Catholic School Board, we're joined by Trustees Tracy Weiler and Bob Sikora. And from the Waterloo Region District School Board, we're also joined by Trustees Joanne Weston and Kathleen Woodcock. And from our corporate leadership team, Michael May, Jonathan Lautenbach, Denise McGoldrick, Victoria Robb, and Justin Reedman. From Waterloo Regional Police Services, Chair Chief Mark Crowell, and from Kitchener Fire Department, Chief Bob Gilmore. I also want to take a moment to thank our partners who have helped make today possible. The KW Chamber of Commerce has partnered with us on State of the City for many years. Oh, before I do that, give a round of applause to our dignitaries who are with us today. As I was saying, the partnership of the KW Chamber is over the long term, and we appreciate that support. I want to thank you, Ian McLean, who's here today, for his ongoing leadership as part of the KW Chamber. Kitchener State of the City events have also supported the Kitchener-Waterloo Community Foundation for many years, and will now support the Unified Waterloo Region Community Foundation. As always, proceeds from this year's event will go to the Kitchener Mayor and Council Fund, which provides flexible support for a wide variety of community needs. As the Waterloo Region Community Foundation's president and CEO, Eric Avner has had a busy year. He was named the inaugural leader of the newly unified foundation last September, and we were thrilled when they found a new home at the city's very own SDG Idea Factory this past March. As many of you know, the SDG Idea Factory is a first of its kind social, environmental, and equity-focused incubator that is helping social entrepreneurs tackle some of the biggest challenges faced by our community and our planet. Eric and the team at WRCF are passionate about building sustainable, equitable, and thriving communities through social and environmental grants and investments, and by bringing people together across Waterloo Region to tackle local issues together. I'd like to invite Eric to please join me on stage to bring a few words this evening. Please welcome Eric.
Oh, thanks, Dan, for the introduction. Thank you to the City of Kitchener and Mayor Barry for inviting me to share some remarks. On behalf of the board, the staff, more than 400 fund holders, and more than 100 community volunteers who collectively steward the Waterloo Region Community Foundation, I'd like to welcome you to today's festivities. As Dan mentioned, the proceeds from the ticket sales from today's State of the City event will once again go to the Kitchener Mayor and Council Fund at the Waterloo Region Community Foundation. The fund was established back in 2004 to help support the wide range of needs in our community. So WRCF is your community's community foundation, one of more than 200 across the country. And as such, we're striving to cultivate and activate resources to build the community, to tackle some of Waterloo's region's community, the biggest challenges. Now, we're accomplishing this by granting to, investing in, and mobilizing residents and organizations for change. So, and much like the City of Kitchener, WRCF has gone through a lot of change in the past 18 months. We unified the former Kitchener-Waterloo Community Foundation and the Cambridge North Dumfries Community Foundation into one bigger, more impactful organization representing the entire region. We hired me. Well, that sounds a little weird, but you get the point. We added new members to our team, and perhaps most exciting, as Dan mentioned, we moved into the City of Kitchener's SDG Idea Factory. And I'm pretty sure the mayor is going to spend some time sharing his passion for the UN SDGs, But we share that passion, and we have a rare opportunity to demonstrate how a community foundation can visibly align with those global sustainability goals, supporting local implementation via a range of financial and social capital tools that are all at our disposal. So we're already cooking up some new ideas, some new partnerships, some new concepts, some new ventures. This isn't commonplace, I want to remind you. This is exceptional for community foundations, and we're proud to till the new ground alongside the team and the other tenants of the Idea Factory. So in closing, I'll just say this: keep an eye on us, sign up for our newsletter, follow our social media, reach out to us if you want to talk about how you could invest in this city, articulated so well in the strategic plan for Kitchener, a city for everyone, where together we can take care of the world around us and for each other. So thank you, and enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you, Eric, for your partnership in today's event. Well, it's now my pleasure to introduce Mayor Barry Vrbanovic to provide remarks on behalf of Kitchener City Council. As many of you know, Mayor Vrbanovic has spent most of his adult life dedicated to serving our Kitchener community, first as a public servant, and for the past almost 30 years as an elected official, 9 of them as mayor. Mayor Vrbanovic has a genuine passion for the community, and today he'd like to share with you our collective plan for the future of Kitchener. He'll begin his address today by sharing our 20-year vision story, which describes what Kitchener will look like in the year 2043. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Barry Vrbanovic.
Kitchener is a community built on a foundation of caring and connection. Whether you've lived here your whole life or you have just arrived, you belong here. Our neighborhoods are more connected and diverse today than ever before. Our streets and sidewalks know all kinds of people, and our kitchen tables, meeting rooms, and council chambers do as well. Creating more opportunities for people to connect and participate in civic life has brought more voices to those tables. This has shown us new possibilities and helped us make better decisions. Kitchener is one of Canada's largest and fastest growing cities. We're finding smart, sustainable, and innovative housing solutions to ensure that people have a place to call home. Our neighborhoods are pedestrian friendly and full of businesses and services that meet our daily needs. Our community centers, arenas, pools, libraries, and sport fields are where we connect, learn, and move. Full of people, activity, and ideas, these spaces bring us together and help us thrive in the world around us. Our sidewalks and trails help us get where we need to go as we walk, roll, and e-scooter throughout the city. We're using cars in parking lots less, and trails, cycling lanes, and transit more. Fewer homes and businesses use fossil fuels to heat and cool, and we've reduced our impact on the environment by using more renewable energy. We serve as stewards of the natural environment. We remain steadfast in our commitment to reconciliation, honoring the Indigenous caretakers who came before us, and building stronger relationships with the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit who call Kitchener home. We preserve and protect parks and natural areas, the natural backdrop along our streets, sidewalks, and paths. Our investments in Kitchener's economy have strengthened key industries and kept our job market healthy and diverse. We've supported local businesses and helped our artists, entrepreneurs, and difference makers in their pursuit of building a better city and world. We step up to help care for one another. We work together with community partners to offer accessible services to those who might be left out. This has helped more people than ever feel a deep sense of belonging in Kitchener. The staff who work alongside our residents and businesses are more than just public servants. They are difference makers and stewards of our city's present and future. Together with Council, we champion our collective goals and work with residents to build our city one neighborhood at a time. Our legacy reflects a diverse and caring workforce that mirrors the diverse and caring city we've helped to build. We're building a city for everyone, where together we take care of the world around us and each other. The lessons of our past and the promise of tomorrow reminds us that people who love their city can always change it and our world for the better, together. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us today at the 2023 State of the City. Welcome to those who are here in person and those who are watching virtually. Thank you to the Spirit Nation singers for joining us this year and sharing your inspiring performance as we walk forward together in healing and reconciliation. Our strategic plan looks 20 years into the future, and we know we have much to learn from the seventh generation principle, a Haudenosaunee philosophy that the decisions we make today should result in a sustainable world 7 generations into the future. Miigwech, thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Dan, for your kind introduction. The leadership you have shown, together with our city's corporate leadership team and our 2,300 committed staff serving our residents and businesses over the past year and many years prior, including the very challenging years of the pandemic, is greatly appreciated and does not go unnoticed. Eric, thank you for your leadership of the Waterloo Region Community Foundation over the past year. You certainly had your work cut out for you as the unification of the 2 former foundations came to fruition. The foundation's vision of creating sustainable, equitable, and thriving communities is being realized as you and your team develop forward-thinking, innovative solutions aligned with the UN's Sustainable Development Goals to meet the current and future needs of the Waterloo Region community. Thanks also to Pamela Rojas, the Kitchener-based visual artist who provided the amazing art installation you can see all around the stage. I noticed there's even a mini replica of the Victoria Park Clock Tower and the SDG Idea Factory. This installation will now find a permanent home at the SDG Idea Factory, but make sure that you take this opportunity to take your picture with it tonight and share it on social media. A giant thank you to the Kitchener Market for hosting us today, and to all the staff in communications, events, operations, security, and the Office of Mayor and Council for the work you have done to make today successful. While it has been many people and teams, special thanks to Bethany Rowland, our Director of Communications, who was this year's, let's give her a round of applause, this year's SOTC Project Manager, and supported by our own OMC Supervisor, Sarah Fitzpatrick. Finally, thank you to my council colleagues. I've said it before, and I'll say it again today. I am blessed to work with an amazing council, and it has been a privilege to serve our community together over the past year, and I look forward to all we can accomplish together in the next 3 years. The decisions we make are not always easy ones, and we do not always agree on the best path forward, but we all come from a place of caring for the community and a deep-rooted desire to serve the residents of Kitchener. Thank you for all you do. Now, before we look ahead to our goals for this strategic plan, let's take a quick look back to the last term of council and hear about some of the standout accomplishments from our council members. A special thanks to former councillors Kelly Galloway-Seelock, John Gazzola, and Sarah Marsh, who also deserve credit for some of this work. Let's take a look.
We are working to make our streets safer and more comfortable for everyone, regardless of age or ability. And we're giving residents more options for how they run, walk, and roll across Kitchener.
From electrifying our fleet vehicles to increasing our tree canopy to making our buildings energy efficient, We've gone green to protect Kitchener's environment for future generations.
We've invested in affordable housing for those who need it the most and focused on made in Kitchener solutions to the housing crisis.
We're making important decisions about the way we grow in our core and across the city, approving more than 10,000 new home starts since we signed the Provincial Housing Pledge in March.
We are building livable neighborhoods full of character and life, with parks, arenas, pools and libraries that help us connect, play, learn, and more.
We developed Make It Kitchener 2.0 to help us focus on transformative actions that attract, grow, and retain businesses, talent, and arts and culture across our city.
We now offer translation services that allow residents to access city services in more than 200 languages.
And we've built this new amazing community center and expanded programming in all our centers to meet the changing needs of a growing community.
We've provided grants to the people and organizations who need them most. From Love My Hood funding for neighborhood projects to the RISE funding for Black, Indigenous, and racialized communities.
We've supported our growing economy through the challenges of the pandemic while keeping our tax increases low.
And now we're looking ahead to the future to continue building a Kitchener that is rooted in a foundation of caring and a thriving community where everyone is welcome. It's always weird to see yourself on TV. Thank you again to my council colleagues for your service and dedication to our community. Now, let's take a look ahead. Today, I'd like to share some highlights of our plan for the future, both over this term of council and beyond, looking ahead 20 years to 2043. I know that many people tune out when they hear the words strategic plan, but hear me out for a second. As Dan said earlier, this is more than just a document. This is our collective and shared vision for the future of this community and our roadmap for how we'll get there. This plan is a mirror reflecting the voices and priorities of you, our community members. Let's face it, most strategic plans are created with some level of community input, but we took it to the next level. Our plan was nurtured through conversations, debates, and the telling of stories. Residents, advisory committee members, and staff working at all levels of the organization were passionate about getting this right, and we listened to them. We gathered public input through a telephone survey of more than 1,000 residents, conducted street team interviews with dozens of people, and collected online engagement from many more residents over the course of a year. And for the first time, we recruited 36 community-spirited volunteers from diverse backgrounds and lived experiences to form a Plan With Us resident panel. Over 6 months, they learned about important city issues and made meaningful contributions to this strategic plan. We'll hear from some of them shortly, and some of them are here in the audience today. Resident panel members, please stand and wave so we can acknowledge you. Your passion for community and your commitment to helping us reflect a wide variety of voices is truly appreciated. As we engage with resident panel members and many others over the past year, themes about our shared priorities began to bubble to the surface. Over time, these solidified into 5 goal areas, focusing on building a connected city together, cultivating a green city together, creating an economically thriving city together, fostering a caring city together, and stewarding a better city together. Let's hear a bit more about these shared priorities now from some of our resident panels. Building a city for everyone, where together we take care of the world around us and each other. This is the City of Kitchener's new vision, which will guide this council and our city for the next 20 years until 2043. This vision comes from a process which prioritized resident voices in shaping the future of our community. This was especially true as we work to develop the city's strategic plan for 2023 to 2026. Council and staff went to great lengths to learn about your priorities for our city by listening to thousands of ideas. This year, a resident panel of 36 volunteers from diverse backgrounds and lived experiences was engaged to help staff create the plan and help us imagine a Kitchener of the future. Let's hear from some of them, along with staff, about the 5 goal areas that emerged as our collective priorities.
We live in all kinds of neighborhoods and types of housing. We work together to ensure that we each have secure and affordable homes.
We get around easily, sustainably, and safely to the places and spaces that matter most to us.
We follow a sustainable path to a greener, healthier city. We work together to enhance and protect our parks and natural environment, while transitioning to a low-carbon future.
We support businesses and residents to make more climate-positive choices.
We use our collective strengths to grow an agile and diverse local economy, powered by talented entrepreneurs, workers, and artists.
We work together to create opportunities for everyone and a resilient future that propels our city forward.
We welcome residents of all ages, backgrounds, and lived experiences. We work together on the decisions that matter to us and have a meaningful influence in our community.
We're healthy and thriving as we easily access the diverse and inclusive programs and services we need to succeed.
Along with Council, City staff are stewards of Kitchener's present and its future.
We're responsive, innovative, diverse, and accountable public servants who work together efficiently to serve residents.
We remove barriers and champion residents' collective vision for a better city and a better world.
Each of our goals has specific and measurable actions outlined. Some are already underway, and some will begin soon. We're also planning regular reviews, which will allow flexibility to adapt as the needs of the community and opportunities change. Visit kitchener.ca/ourplan to learn more about what we've set out to achieve, our alignment with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and how we'll be accountable to our community as we continue to build a city for everyone, where together we take care of the world around us and each other.
We are Kitchener.
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 We are all Kitchener. And I'll just note that our citizen stars, a number of them are in the audience, and we'll do photos in an autograph session after the speech this evening. Thank you again to those resident panel members for your enthusiasm and support. Our shared priorities are just the beginning. Each one has specific and measurable actions that will get us to where we want to be. Think of them as stops along the roadmap to our future. Here are just a few examples that I'm particularly pleased with as a focus of our shared work. The housing crisis remains a top issue locally and in other major cities across the country, and we're working hard to find solutions. Our award-winning Housing for All strategy is helping forge a path for the delivery of affordable units in our community by removing barriers at the city and making changes to enable housing to be built faster across the housing continuum, whether that's supportive housing, affordable housing, rental housing, or homes for ownership. We have a long-standing history of enabling housing supply through the city's official plan and forward-thinking zoning rules, but we're taking things even further to get more homes built faster. We've pledged to do our part to build 35,000 homes by 2031, working closely with all orders of government, the private sector, not-for-profit sector, educational institutions, and Kitchener residents. And of course, we shared some big news last Friday with the announcement of $42.4 million in housing accelerator funding from the federal government to fast-track the construction of more than 1,200 new homes in Kitchener by early 2027. These dollars will enable the city to develop new programs and initiatives to accelerate housing starts. To do this, we'll be focusing on housing density near transit stations, incentivizing affordable housing builds, leveraging city-owned lands to get more homes built, and supporting co-ops and nonprofits to build homes for families across the housing continuum. On that note today, I'm pleased to announce the first of those programs today. Starting in 2024, a $5,000 per unit matching grant funded by the federal government and the City of Kitchener, plus a no-interest loan of an additional $5,000 per unit, will be made available to assist with more than 500 new affordable housing units. Funding will help cover early project costs for developments that provide non-for-profit supportive, affordable rental or affordable co-op housing units, and will also help enable housing permissions to permit 4 units on residential lots citywide. Watch for more details in the coming weeks on the launch of applications for this initiative, as well as other Housing Accelerator Fund announcements. As Minister Sean Fraser pointed out when he announced our funding last week, Kitchener will have the most significant growth rate of any Housing Accelerator Fund applicant in Canada, and other municipalities should follow suit. I want to thank Minister Sean Fraser for his leadership and belief in us, and government MPs Valerie Bradford, Tim Lewis, and the Honourable Bardish Chagger, as well as Kitchener Centre MP Mike Morris, once again for his and the Government of Canada's support. We are incredibly thankful for the Canadian government for our continued partnership and investment in our community. We're also cultivating a green city to lower our impact on the planet and adapt to climate change. This includes adding trees to our urban areas with a goal of growing our tree canopy to 30% in each ward by 2050. Reducing GHG emissions by electrifying our fleet vehicles and equipment and making city buildings more energy efficient. Making sure new construction is more sustainable by setting green standards for developers and adding park space to underserved urban areas and looking ahead to build a major new park near the Grand River. All of these changes will help us and our municipal partners achieve our Transform Waterloo Region goal of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 80% of 2010 levels by 2050. We're also creating an economically thriving city. From launching 44 Gaukel, a creative hub and inclusive workspace, to collaborating with Conestoga College on their new School of Creative Industries. From launching our first of its kind SDG Idea Factory, a UCLG local action hub incubation space built around the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals for finding localized solutions to global challenges, to committing $8.5 million towards the University of Waterloo Innovation Arena to support the growing health, technology, innovation ecosystem. We're also reigniting this city by breathing new life into culture and entertainment. And let me be clear, we're not just talking about it, we're actively making it happen. The city is taking on a new leadership role to support city-owned performing arts and entertainment facilities, the Centre in the Square, the Odd, the Registry Theatre, and the Conrad Centre for the Performing Arts. This means working with our valued venue operators and community partners in the arts and culture space on shared services, operational support, and promotion. Our vision is that these efforts will translate into amazing audience experiences, fantastic shows, and celebrating a local culture of entertainment that will put Kitchener on the map as a destination for concerts, sports events, live theater, musical performances, and more. At our core, Kitchener is a caring community. We have a long history of coming together in hard times, of adapting, of rebuilding, and of lending a helping hand. Everything we do is rooted in care and compassion, and we want this to continue. We're creating a caring city by stepping up to help those who need it the most. Our programs are open to everyone with access for all, without financial or other barriers, so everyone feels a sense of belonging in Kitchener. We're also reviewing our community center model to reflect the diversity in our neighborhoods and taking a closer look at our recreation programs to respond to changing community needs. We want to make sure that newcomers to Kitchener feel welcomed and supported, and that everyone, whether they have lived in Kitchener for weeks or generations, can fully participate in this community. Our newcomer strategy will help us hear from diverse voices, deliberately seeking input from new residents. We'll be finding ways to use our recreation facilities, community centers, and programs to provide newcomers with the supports they need to help them feel more connected to this community. Finally, we're also stewarding a better city together. And the people responsible for making this happen are the public servants who take care of this city. Every single day, delivering the services you use from the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment you go to bed at night, and even while you're sleeping too. From maintaining our parks and roads, to running our amazing community centers, to building the recreation programs your family loves. From fighting fires, to building responsible budgets, to hosting some of the coolest events Kitchener has to offer. From helping our city grow in a thoughtful way, to engaging the public, to using data and technology at our Civic Innovation Lab at Communitech, to finding solutions to municipal challenges. Kitchener's employees are much more than staff members. They are passionate public servants who are deeply invested in making this community a better place for everyone. I'm so proud of Team Kitchener's talented group of employees and hope that they inspire the next generation of young people to become the public servants who will execute our vision for this community and take our city into 2043 and beyond. As we look ahead to the future, the energy and enthusiasm I have seen for this community from residents, business owners, students, community partners, city staff, and city council is undeniable. Across Canada, our community isn't just keeping up, we're setting the pace. Kitchener and our neighboring cities and townships have been part of our shared regional success story across Canada and North America, and the next chapter promises even better things. While we have much to celebrate, we also know it's not all good news, and we know times are tough. Global issues like wars and conflicts in different parts of the world, climate change, and energy and food insecurity resonate both here and around the world. Locally, we're dealing with fiscal and affordability challenges, poverty and homelessness, and a very real housing crisis. All this means that many of our friends and neighbors throughout the city of Kitchener and our broader region are feeling the impacts of these humanitarian and global crises, and these folks need our support. May we all find ways to express support to our community through empathy, understanding, and a community-wide desire for an end to all conflicts. As a city, we're committed to working with our community and government partners to find solutions, to think outside the box, and move forward with the goal of building a caring and thriving community. This starts by focusing on what brings us together rather than what sets us apart, by talking and listening. Kitchener has a long history of finding our way forward during the hardest of times, of dusting ourselves off and making change happen. The decisions we make today are the building blocks of our city's future. We're in this together, with you, our citizens, partners, community builders, and change makers. Together, we're the architects of tomorrow, building a Kitchener for today and generations to come. And our strategic plan, informed by many of you, will be our North Star to guide us along the way. We know some decisions we make are difficult, and the best path forward isn't always clear. But one thing is for sure. All our decisions are made with the goal of making Kitchener a caring and connected community for today, for tomorrow, and far into the future. We're building a city for everyone, where together we take care of the world around us and each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Vrbanovic, for painting a compelling picture of Kitchener's future, and for all of you for your time, for being here tonight, and for those that are watching online. Please take a copy of the City of Kitchener Vision and Strategic Plan with you today, and share it with your friends, your colleagues at work in the office, as it belongs to all of us. Heck, you can even read pages 9 to 11 to your kids at bedtime tonight. It would make a great story. I just want to offer one final word before we wrap up for this evening. As we know, Remembrance Day is just in 2 days. So please wear your poppy with pride, thank a veteran or a service member for their selfless service, and we'll hope to see you this Saturday at the Cenotaph at 10:30 for a community time of remembrance. But now please stay for a while and join Mayor Vrbanovic and members of City Council at the reception and enjoy a great selection of food and drink from our market vendors. Have a good night and safe travels.